Hello and welcome back sa Kung Ano Man To. So for today's episode, well, episode 3. For sa episode 3, we're just gonna talk about cutting people off. Bago tayo mag-start, konting chika muna. So, I just got out of the shower and like, originally, tinatamad ako maligo kasi wala namang pasok at saka gusto ko na mag-record, do all my shit and stuff. Pero like, I gotta take a shower kasi I'm on this routine where I put keratin sa buhok ko, and right now it feels so soft. Keratin! Pero ayan, my hair feels really soft right now, and it feels great. Like last episode, I advised taking showers, and God, I love taking showers. Like may mga times na tinatamad ako maligo, pero like after maligo, it feels great. You feel clean, you feel fresh as fuck, and yeah. Oh my God, yung mga manok nagtitilaok. Sana hindi napi-pick up ng mic. But yeah, we just had coffee. I love coffee. Um, yung coffee ko today, normally I just brew it like any other day. I use a French press. Kaya, yeah, I use a French press and I use grounded coffee beans. So, per today, I wanted to spice things up. I added cinnamon, and holy shit, it tastes really refreshing. Like, I love cinnamon because like it clears up your nostrils and you feel really ah, afterwards. You know that feeling when you just go ah, feels great. So yeah. So on to today's topic, cutting people off. When is it the right time to cut people off? Is it okay to cut people off? Well, ako, naniniwala ako na it's 100% okay to cut people off. It doesn't like people, when you say cutting people off, it has a negative connotation kasi it feels like you're burning bridges. Like it's a very, like it feels negative, pero in reality, it shouldn't be kasi it's normal. Like, people come and go. Not everybody you meet in life makakasama mo na hanggang sa kamatayan. Like, I've met a lot of people that like really hate, cutting people off. And I'm just kind of like, doesn't it get tiring na you're holding on to everybody you meet like forever? Doesn't that like suck up all your energy? Kasi you spend so much of your time trying to maintain a fuck ton of relationships with a fuck ton of people. Doesn't that get tiring para sa'yo? Pero to each their own, I guess. Pero personally, I think na cutting people off isn't a negative thing, and it's a normal thing to do. Like, it's para sa'yo din yun eh. You can't spend your life trying to be as available as you can for everybody. And cutting people off doesn't exactly mean permanently cutting people off. It can also just be a temporary break from a person, you know? It doesn't have to be this thing where hindi mo na makaka-interact tong taong 'to forever and ever. Pero it doesn't also mean na not cutting people off doesn't mean na kasama mo na sila habang buhay. Like, people come and go talaga. Sometimes when people come and go, they go back, and then they go again. It's just the way things are. And honestly, the fact that the interactions you have with people is limited is also what makes it special. The fact that none of this is permanent means that like the scarcity of the interactions you have is also what makes them valuable. Scarcity projects value in the sense na it's limited, it's not permanent, it's not unlimited, and the fact na it's only a limited resource means that it's valuable. It makes it valuable. So, cutting people off. Well, there are two types para sa akin. Nandun yung silent cutoff at saka nandun yung direct cutoff. Like, I don't wanna talk to you anymore. Pero it sounds so negative. Ayaw na kitang kausapin. But it's not always negative, ha? So, when is it the right time ba to cut people off? So, na-mention ko nga na people come and go. And why do people go ba? Well, people go for a fuck ton of reasons. It can either, like, the most common answer will be na unhealthy na yung person para sa'yo. And another reason would be because you grew out of that person. It sounds masakit pakinggan na growing out of a relationship, pero it does happen. People change, and it's not always a bad thing. We're not supposed to be stagnant people. We're the like in filmmaking, there are two types of characters. Nandun yung static character and nandun yung dynamic characters. We're all dynamic characters. No one should ever be a static character. No one should remain stagnant. Yung like you exist but you don't change. That's not healthy. Like part of being human is being a dynamic creature. It sounds very wow, dynamic. Pero I really do mean that. Like people change and that's a good thing. And changing into someone that doesn't really relate to somebody that changing into somebody that doesn't relate to the things that they used to like, that's not a bad thing. And it may hurt kasi syempre you made memories with this person, with these things that you used to love. Pero well, if there ever comes a time that you no longer relate to those things that you love, to those people that you used to hang out with, that's okay. That's supposed to happen. You're not supposed to be the same thing forever, but you can appreciate those things for what they were, things that you used to love. And that's okay. There will come a time where you no longer feel the same happiness that you feel with your friend group. And it can be sad kasi like, wow, like, you know that feeling when you're with your friend group and then nagsisink in lang na like, I no longer vibe with these people like how I used to. It sounds sad, of course, because you care about these people, and it sucks that you no longer feel the same energy that you felt when you used to be with them. But that's not a bad thing. It means that it means that you changed. It means that you grew up. It means na nag-develop ka, and that's a good thing. And in those situations, it doesn't mean that you have to tell them like, "Hey, you guys don't make me feel great anymore, so I'm gonna leave." No, you can just like silently let it fade, and you don't have to you don't have to be as active as you used to if you don't feel like if you don't feel like it. If you don't feel like hanging out with them, that's fine. And it doesn't have to be this dramatic thing where like you guys no longer make me feel entertained. No. It can also just be hey, I just don't feel like hanging out. And that should be okay. Most of the time, they would understand. Like, if your relationship with these people are great, they would understand you and be like, yeah, it's fine. You don't have to feel like hanging out all the time. If you don't feel like it, don't do it. And that's okay. Another reason to cut people off is when they. Sorry, Barado Ilong. Another reason to cut people off is when they take up so much energy, like the energy that they take from you doesn't justify the energy that you give and the time that you give. What do I mean by that? What I mean is like, for example, if you spend your time with like really, really, really negative people that they just suck up, like you after nyo mag-hang out or after nyo mag-interact, you feel drained, you feel like wala ka ng energy. Those types of relationships, they're not sustainable, sad to say, pero yeah, they're not sustainable. Those are the types of relationships that you should let it fade. Kasi if you keep trying to sustain those types of relationship, you'll stay with this person. If you're a sentimental person, it can be hard to let go of these people, but kasi you care about them. Pero you have to think na like you feel drained when you're with them. It Do you really think that's sustainable? Do you really think that's how relationships should be? It does, pero you can also help them out, of course. Pero like, hanggang help ka lang. It's never your obligation to change that person. You can be there for them and you can try to help them through it. And you should. If like, if somebody needs help, it would be great if you could help them. But if they like hanggang help ka lang, kasi it's never your obligation to change somebody. It's not your job. It's nobody's job to change anybody. Pero when it comes to parents, it is their responsibility to try and help their kids as much as they can. But when it comes to like your friends, hindi mo sila obligasyon, hindi mo responsibilidad 'yon, pero malaking tulong kung tutulong ka. Pero hanggang tulong lang. Yun hanggang dun lang yung boundaries nun. Kasi if you try to give it all just so you can change this negative person into a more positive person, like that's a very noble and selfless thing to do. Like if you do that, that says a lot about who you are. Pero at the same time, it's not healthy kasi it's not your job and it will fucking tear you apart kasi the amount of energy that takes up from you, it doesn't justify doing it. It's not your job to change these people. And if like let's say you do actually try to help them pero walang pagbabagong nangyari, that's okay. You gave your best. And if it like you tried your best naman to try to help this person pero kung hindi nila tutulungan sarili nila, it's okay to subtly this silent cutoff. It's not pero that doesn't mean na if they ever need help na like if they ever reach out na, "Hey, I need help with something." If you want to help this person and if you think and if you know na it won't really compromise too much, go help them. Pero like if it becomes repetitive and wala pa ring pagbabago, you feel like walang napupuntahan yung energy na binibigay mo. If you don't feel like it anymore, it's okay to stop and save time and energy. It's okay. It's not your job. And if they really cared about you, they would understand. They wouldn't mind. Pero helping helps, but it's not your job. Another reason to cut someone off is kapag hinahadlang nila yung development mo. Like, let's say, may mga goals ka sa buhay. I mean, lahat naman tayo may goals sa buhay. Pero like, let's say, may pangarap ka, pero yung pangarap mo nahahadlang na tong taong 'to. Okay, here's an example. Let's say, this is a common example. Like, let's say, you want to stop smoking or you want to stop vaping. Being around your friends that smoke and vape or do whatever, like let's say you want to stop drinking, being around your friends that consistently drink, smoke, or whatever, it's not going to be helpful para sa'yo. Like, lalo na if you have really severe withdrawal symptoms, it's not going to help you. Like, in those circumstances, it would be nice to like confront your friends like, hey, is it okay if you guys don't do this around me kasi I'm trying my best na pigilan na. And if they're real homies, if they're real besties, they would understand and they would not smoke or drink around you or hindi ka na nila aayain masyado uminom para that way matulungan ka nila mag-quit. Pero if they persist, maybe it's best to like avoid being around them para that way you can reach your goal of quitting drinking or quitting smoking or whatever. Kasi if you keep them around, it's gonna be hard for you to quit. Pero once you do quit and and you can finally stand being around people that smoke or drink, it's okay to revisit them and go back to them ulit. Like I said earlier, cutting people off doesn't have to be this permanent thing. It can also be a break, like a small temporary break that's healthy para sa inyong dalawa. And in this scenario na binibigay ko, it is very beneficial para sa'yo. Para that way, it would help na hindi ka ma-expose sa old habits mo if you wanna quit those old habits. Another example of this situation, like cutting people off na nakakahadlang sa development mo, like another example of this is, example, gusto mong like let's say last semester, ang taas na nakuha mong mark, like malapit ka na makauno, like let's say naka 1.25 ka or something. Like sobrang lapit mo na makauno. So, this time, you want to try harder kasi nandun ka na eh. Like, you're on the fucking threshold na makaabot ng uno. So, syempre, may as well go there kasi nandun ka na eh. Pero, you're around, ano, you're, your circle, you're around people na tinatamad and not really the academic types. You can still be friends with them, of course. Pero, you can also prioritize your studies over them, and that should be okay. Kasi let's say you're doing it kasi gusto mong maabot yung goal na yun. You can spend less time with them just so you can reach your goals. And that's 100% okay. If they're real friends, they would understand and they would support you na like, "Go, okay lang. Okay lang kahit di ka muna sumama sa gala. Like, go, mag-review ka para sa next exam or para sa next quiz or spend as much time, take the time off para dun sa project mo." They would understand. And those types of people, they're the type to keep around. That doesn't like you can spend less time with them, yes, pero like I don't advise burning the bridge entirely, but ayun, cutting them off temporarily would be great. Para that way you can focus on your goals and your development. And a severe example of this is um you're around people. Okay, another reason to cut people off. Another reason is when these people bring out the absolute worst in you. I mean, like the absolute worst. Like kapag nilalabas nila yung worst sides mo, those times, bro, it's time to like, alam mo naman kung ano yung ikakabuti mo. And spending time around people that bring out the absolute worst in you, naa, naa. Pero ayun, they it's perfectly justifiable to leave those people behind kung nilalabas nila yung pinaka-worst side mo kasi talagang wala kang hindi ka mag-grow into a better person if you keep these people around. So magbigay tayo ng example. An example would be you're around people na puro na lang tsismis yung inaatupag sa buhay. Speaking from experience, uh, kinda. Let's say you wanna be a better person, which is great. It's fucking great, bro. You wanna be a better person. You're not going to reach that goal spending time with people that bring out that chismosa side of you. Spending around people that spend so much time they spend so much time na maghimay ng storya ng ibang tao. Like mga tao na pinagpipiyestahan yung buhay ng ibang tao. Maybe it's not great kung you're gonna spend your time with them kasi internally, madadala mo yun eh. And spending so much time giving a fuck about what other people do, or say or think, it's tiring. Like, wala ka namang ibang aatupagin kundi atupagin ang buhay ng iba. Like, hindi siya beneficial para sa'yo, and it's oftentimes very, very negative. Like, it drains your energy. Like, after ano, I mean, it's normal to have those chika sessions with your friends about other people, yeah. Pero like, if you're around people na araw-araw yun na lang ang inaatupag, like, hanggang diyan ka na lang ba? Like, hindi ka na ba grow into another person? Like, are you just gonna be that person that spends their time picking apart other people? Do you really think na that's beneficial para sa'yo? Obviously, hindi. And spending your time doing that won't bring you anywhere other than, I guess ano, may mapupulot ka namang mga aral dun. Like, you'll learn from other people's mistakes. Pero if you just focus on the mistakes of other people, like, kung wala kang ginawa kundi i-analyze tsaka himayin yung mga problema ng ibang tao, 'di ba parang may internalize mo yung like yung problem sila, and you'll turn into a problematic person kasi ano, masasanay ka ng maghanap ng worst. Like, masasanay kang hanapin yung pinaka-worst side ng mga tao, and that's not a good thing. It will bring out, like, the shitty side of you. Another reason, like, another scenario is, like, when you're with people na ano, people na hindi naggo-grow. Kasi they say naman na, "Tell me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are." And that saying is, like, really true. If you spend your time with people that you don't wanna be if you spend your time with people that you don't wanna be like, you'll eventually be like them. And that's a very valid reason to, like, subtly cut those people off, para that way you can aid your development and stray away from things that you don't wanna be like. And yeah, it's a very healthy thing to do. Hindi lang para sa'yo pero para sa kanila rin, kasi maybe they might realize na, like, "Huh, napagod na 'tong friend ko kakakinig sa mga kung ano-ano ko man. Maybe it's a sign na, like, I should stop doing that." Hindi lang siya beneficial sa'yo, it can also be beneficial for the other person. So, another reason to cut people off is when they don't reciprocate your fucking energy. Like, it's even like ano, like, it's not that great. Kasi, like, let's say you're a very nerdy person. Like, let's say you're a very big film nerd. You're very geeky about movies, shows, and stuff. If you're around people that don't appreciate the same shit that you appreciate, eventually you'll lose interest in those things, and you'll feel like you'll feel like nobody relates to you, and nobody should feel that. You should surround yourself with people with the same interests as you, para that way your passion for the things that you love will be reciprocated, and you feel fulfilled. You feel as if you're around people that understand the things that you love. And that's amazing. That's great. Kasi when you're around people that that don't really get the things that you love, low key, low key ha, sa there might come a time where your passion for that thing subtly fades away. Kasi you feel as if you're the only person that likes this shit. And that's not to say that you can't be around people that share your interests, ha. That's not what I'm trying to say. You can also be around people na hindi totally nagigets yung interest mo. You can be around those people. It's okay. Pero if hindi nila nare-reciprocate or parang ino-OP ka nila, hindi siya magiging great for you. Everybody should be around people that like na nagigets sila. Like, let's say ito scenario, napagdaan ko 'to, ito scenario. Mahilig ka sa let's say na mahilig ka sa classical music or mahilig ka sa jazz, pero every time you're with your friend group and you play you play blues or you play jazz, they always skip your songs. Or like let's say you're into rock music, you play some heavy metal shit and then they don't reciprocate the vibe. Yung parang hindi like they don't vibe with it. I mean, it's okay na you don't vibe with it, pero like pwede mo naman i-try and like try to vibe with it. Pero like if you're around people na like if you're around people that skips your songs, maybe that kasi nakaka-OP. It feels like you don't belong. And if you don't feel belong around people, maybe it's a sign that you're not around the right kind of people. Just saying. You shouldn't ever feel like na hindi maganda yung taste mo sa music or whatsoever. Listen to whatever the fuck na you wanna listen to. You should be around people that matches or reciprocates your energy or your excitement. Even if they don't totally get it, pero they vibe, they fuck with you, like they vibe with whatever the fuck you wanna do. Hell to the fuck yeah. Pero if your group doesn't necessarily vibe with it, I mean it's okay. But like if you feel as if you don't belong, maybe it's time to like spend more time with other people or try to spend more time with yourself. And that's not a bad thing. So, ayun. Those are my 4 reasons to cut people off. Disclaimer, not totally cutting people off. More like, silently fading away. Like, silently getting Thanos snapped out of the fucking circle. And it's always okay to hang out with people less. It's always okay to do that. If you don't feel like hanging out or being around the people that you used to be with, it's 100% okay. Kasi people grow and people come and go. And sometimes they come back and they go away again. And that's 100% okay. Like just because the relationship that you have with these people end, it doesn't mean it's not worth anything. No, the times that you spend with these people still mean the same as much as they did before. Like it may not mean as much now, but they definitely did mean something in the moment. And that's the human experience. Things ending doesn't mean it wasn't worth it or it wasn't strong enough to begin with. No, if you had fun in in the relationship that you have with these people, you had fun. Period, bitch. Pero yun, if you had fun with these people, then you had fun. It doesn't mean that it's worth any less than it does now. So, that's it for today's episode. Kung na-enjoy mo tong usapan na to, make sure to follow the podcast para that way updated ka sa mga uploads ko and yeah, yun na lang. Feel free to share your thoughts and whatsoever. I hope na-enjoy niyo and that's it. Kita-kita na lang ulit dito lang sa Kung Ano Man 'To. Bye!